Highs in the low to mid 90s, mainly clear sky tonight, upper 60s to low 70s. Sunshine with us on Thursday. Our high temperatures in the low to mid 90s with a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm south. And then we could see more showers and storms Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on at OGE.com.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith, from the Bush and Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown!
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts, we're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
You want answers!
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Ty Richardson.
Guys do a good job, and I'll listen to you guys.
2 more quarters, and after that, most of you will never play this game again.
D-Mac, hold on now, Ryan. D-Mac not looking back, touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
it? Wide open again.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Favored by 21 points against the next opponent, maybe the worst opponent they've faced in a long time. I've called Wednesday Hump Day for. I usually hadn't been calling it Hump Day until I started doing this talk show, but now I'm in the rhythm of 5 days a week, and this is the middle of the week. So this Hump Day is now becoming something else. Ty Richardson, I'm Phil Elson. Ty's in the ESPN Arkansas studios. Appreciate you tuning in to halftime today. I'm changing the name of Wednesday, if you're all right with that. Maybe it's like an early change my mind, and we're doing change my mind later on in hour number 2. But I want to change the day's nickname. And Hump Day, okay, we can keep it Hump Day for a bit, but it's also Turn the Page Day during football season. You're not worried about what happened before. You're not talking about last game. You're looking ahead. So. Unfortunately, Ty, we have not done. I'm still the frozen headshot on our live stream, right? That's put up on the Hit That Line YouTube and Facebook page. And
someone wants to wait till he looks crystal clear on his new phone because he's a diva over there.
Either that, or I'm just really slow on finding something else to replace it with. But you can see what I'm doing here on our FaceTime. Maybe you can do the same for the listeners/viewers that are watching it. You see what I have right here? This is Colorado State versus Arkansas, the front of the box score that I printed out for when we hosted Hog Reaction. And look what I'm doing with it. I'm crumpling it up, I'm throwing it in the garbage, and I'm forgetting about it. So, and that goes with the rest of it. You know, the other 5 pages I printed out. Screw this stuff. Who needs it? We're worried about the next opponent now. So no more Colorado State. Now we're talking about a much worse Mountain West team. A team that won a game last year. San Jose State lost to UC Davis last season. The only win was against UNLV. I am pretty positive that San Jose State, and I'm not saying this with any nasty intent. I'm not trying to troll the Spartans. But I think this is the worst football program that Arkansas has faced in a long time. A long time. I'm talking FBS. I mean, just look at what has happened under head coach Brent Brennan. He of the 1 year of playing wide receiver at UCLA, 4-23 record. That counts their 1-1 record this year. They are coming off of a bye week. Picked up a win over FCS Northern Colorado, and then were pretty much run off the field by the Tulsa Golden Hurricane this last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. This is a team that doesn't know how to win a lot of games, and it isn't just under Coach Brent Brennan. Ever since they lost Mike McIntyre, who took them to a bowl game 6 years ago, they have stunk up the joint. McIntyre, of course, went to Colorado. Now he's the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss, And while San Jose State has had some success in previous years, for the last 5 years, not counting this season, the previous 5 seasons, 16 wins, 46 losses. So I guess I should have put together what Arkansas's record over those 5 seasons too, because we've been saying this is the worst 5-year stretch for Arkansas football perhaps ever. But it doesn't reach 16-46. It doesn't reach.
So what you're saying is it could get worse.
Oh yes, it could get much worse. Look, you read Bob Holt's article today in the Democrat Gazette. San Jose State is traversing the entire country, playing in They're playing in 5 time zones this year. They're playing in Hawaii. They play at Army West Point. This is the one game they'll play in Central Time and in Fayetteville. And then, of course, they've got the Pacific and the Mountain time zones that they play in their own conference. I mean, I think it's got to be the only school in the country that's playing in 5 time zones, because, of course, that counts Hawaii time. There's that. The idea that you're facing a team that just gets trounced on the ground. Last year, San Jose State allowed 211 rush yards per game. Now, that was a bit of an improvement on the 285 rush yards per game they'd allowed in 2017. And it just doesn't look like it's gotten much better, because 2 weeks ago, Tulsa ran for 256 yards against them, almost 5 yards per carry. This, to me, when you look at some of the factors that come into this game, how well Arkansas looked last week, what you got your playmakers now at quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, running back, an offensive line that is showing signs of gelling and coming together, and the things that San Jose State has struggled with, not just this season, but historically in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm looking at this line of 21 points and thinking Arkansas's got to win by more than 21 points. They got to go out there, and you know how much I hate the term stepping on an opponent's throat. I would just rather say just go kick their butt, and that's exactly what I feel Arkansas should do. This needs to be a win of better than 3 touchdowns. I'm talking 4 or 5 more touchdowns. I think this is a team that Arkansas should stomp and needs to stomp to generate some forward momentum for Texas A&M next Saturday. I think this is the worst team Arkansas's faced in the FBS in years.
Arkansas needs to throttle them on Saturday night. You're exactly right. I told Clay Henry when we were texting Saturday night, asking about the prediction, I said 59-21, and I don't think that's really out of the realm of possibility, because this is not a team that even measures up to Colorado State, Phil, and that's saying something to a 3-9 football team last year that you lost to, and then this year's team doesn't look that great, especially with the loss of Colin Hill. I think they're just going to cream him unless they completely go 180 and Nick Starkel struggles, the offense struggles, and the defense gives up a ton of points. You just don't see them going backwards based on what you saw on Saturday. And that kind of ties into our halftime poll question, which is, are you worried about Saturday now based on what happened against Colorado State? Is there any realm of possibility in your mind that Arkansas could lose this football game come Saturday night? And I think for most fans out there that have been reading and watching and doing everything they can based on what happened on Saturday, I think they think Arkansas is going to crush them. And I don't think that's a bad way of thinking based on what you saw and based on what this team's coming in. I mean, the line you mentioned is 21 right now. I think it started at 19. It's been pushed up to 21.
It's going to go higher in the next 2 days.
I would 100% anticipate it.
Get your bets in now.
Yeah. So if you could get it when it was at 19, good for you, because I anticipate that line is going to continuously go up. As Nikki brought up yesterday, she would have taken a bet if she was a betting woman, but she doesn't really bet. I would encourage you as your betting, your fun betting guy on the show that likes to talk about it, who doesn't actually bet his real money, to do that, because I think it's a pretty much a given. But then again, Arkansas can win this game by 7 points, because really these last couple of years you never can figure out this football team, Phil. It seems like every time they turn the corner, something else happens and there's a roadblock in the way.
You remember those score predictions before the Portland State game? I mean, really, like everybody. It wasn't just our show. I think it was Rusk and Zach. I think it was Morning Rush, I think it was just about everybody that was putting a prediction together thinking that Arkansas would have stomped Portland State, by, I think my guess was like 48-13. That's what I think this score needs to be.
You want me to? Yeah, I got some to read them.
You wrote them down. All right, so what were some predictions from the Portland State game, the final score? Because I feel like that's what you need to beat San Jose State by.
So these are in Hogs Illustrated. I was a knucklehead and forgot to text Clay about my prediction for the Portland State and Ole Miss score until it was too late. Clay said 45-6. Dudley said 42-14. Matt Jones of Whole Hog Sports said 38-16. Bart said 55-10. Seth Campbell said 56-3. John said 52-21. Scotty of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette said 45-13. Tommy said 42-10. And Harry Keene down there in Little Rock said 52-10. Yeah, none of those are really that close. And
gosh, that wasn't even that would have definitely a good thing nobody bet their life savings on the final score of that game.
Yeah, and we were talking about that. It was either BetDSI or another Vegas service that had the line. Was it 28? I believe before the game.
That's what it was. Yeah,
28 points. So yeah, that's goes to show Vegas is right a lot of the time, but they're not always right. And if you would have bet a lot of money on that game, or if you did, I'm sorry because it didn't pay off.
So, I mean, this is a game that Arkansas can just get up there and run up and down the field is really what it looks like to me. And offensively, defensively, they should just this should be a ball game that you go out and dominate from the start. I mean, Tulsa put together 2 weeks ago an opening drive of 14 plays, 75 yards to get the game's first touchdown in 7 minutes, 12 seconds. On those 14 plays, Ty, they ran 13 of those 14 plays. They just jammed it right up the middle on the San Jose defensive line, and that pretty much was the story of the game, start to finish.
Joe Craddock and Chad Morris stressed balance post and pregame press conferences before Colorado State, and they got that. I want to say that they were very close in the number of pass plays and run plays that they ran during the game, and the yardage was up there as well. In this game, I feel like it might be a little bit of a discrepancy based on how many rushing yards they're going to be able to accumulate, because if Rakeem Boyd keeps going up the middle for 10, 15 yards every time, or Dev Whaley or Chase Aiden or whatever formation, if they're running into rounds and stuff like that, this could be a game where your rushing yard far exceeds your passing yards. And you hope that that Nick Starkel still get a chance to throw the football, because you want the rushing to be stopped at a certain extent so you can still have Nick Starkel in his rhythm throwing the football, because I'll tell you one thing. It may be easy going. It may be the lightest. It may be green when it comes to going down the ski slopes this week. But next week, it's a double black diamond going against Mike Elko's Texas A&M defense. It's going to be tough sledding. It's not going to be an easy avenue.
What is it, sledding or skiing? Make
sledding.
A choice.
I keep going
for crying
back and
out
forth.
loud.
Man, I can't do either. I say that. I've never snowboarded either.
I've never been snow skiing.
Or dog sledding. I can't snow ski worth a crap. I was good as a kid, and then when I tore my ACL, I'm really scared to put a lot of pressure on my left knee, and I went the year or two ago. When was it? I was college, so 3 years ago, junior year, and I was terrible. I went straight down on like blues and stuff, and I would almost just run over people, and I had not a ski instructor, but one of the guys that proles the slopes, like, hey man, you probably need to learn how to ski. And that's when I was like, I'm not doing anything besides like greens and like light blues the rest of the trip. I was really embarrassed for myself, because I used to actually somewhat decent at skiing, and now it's just not the case. I think I'm going to try snowboard next time I go to the slopes, Phil.
I can water ski. It's been a minute, but I can water ski. Even get up on one ski. I learned how to do that, about 20 years ago.
Slalom, is that what it's called, slalom ski?
Little slalom, that's right. We had a woman I worked with in Montana. She and her husband owned a competitive water ski lake. It was really a pond in their backyard, which in Montana is like, your backyard is about 2 miles long. And so we learned there. But I never went snow skiing. I must have been the only one of all of my friends in Pittsburgh that didn't ever go skiing. My parents had a fear of it, so they just never took me, and I never took up an offer to go with anybody else. But I'm guessing you mean double black diamond must be awfully difficult. Must be really, really expert level skiing. And that's what you're saying Texas A&M is, right? Their defense would be the double black diamond.
Trying to insinuate. I was stumbling and bumbling trying to get that out. But, yeah, that's what I'm trying to match together, because, again, you're playing a Mountain West Conference opponent, And if you thought it was tough sledding against Ole Miss's defense, which may be better than we thought it was going in, I think McIntyre's done a better job. In fact, I saw a statistic, and I can't remember who was talking about the other day, but I want to say they're the number one rush defense right now in the SEC. Don't hold me to that 100%. They have a statistic that's so odd when I first heard it that it gives credit to their defense. But yeah, Mike Elko's defense, it's going to be a tough road. Look at Trevor Lawrence at home. Trevor Lawrence didn't put up spectacular numbers against them. I think that Clemson only scored, 24 points? So it's not like it was easy for the best quarterback in college football, or one of them, depending on where you think him and Tua stack up. So, and especially it's in Jerry World where you haven't fared well against A&M. That's an understatement. So, yeah, it's easy win this week. I say that tongue-in-cheek, knock on wood. Next week, though, it's going to pick up a little bit, Phil.
Brett from Spyro letting us know in the Cherokee Casino hotline that anybody can win on any given day, which, that sounds like it could be the truth, but, man, you wouldn't expect that to be the case this Saturday at Reynolds Razorback Stadium for a 6:30 kickoff. 877-377-6963 to get with us on a call or a text. That is the Cherokee Casino hotline. So you mentioned the Ole Miss run defense, and the Razorbacks only ran for 61 yards on 26 carries against them, and then get off 215 yards on 35 carries against Colorado State. So maybe you find somewhere in between there against a run defense that is one of the worst in the country this year and for the past 2 seasons as well. So what do you think will happen on Saturday against San Jose State? We're not asking for your score predictions yet, but that's something we'll get to this upcoming Friday. San Jose State. I was looking back at their on their football website and noticed that they air their radio broadcasts on it's on like a 3-station network in San Jose, Modesto, and Stockton. Stockton is a city I lived in before I moved to Arkansas, and they're on the same airwaves that I broadcast Mudville 9 games on back in the year 2000.
The Mudville 9's a great minor league team that Philly used to be a part of.
That's where they're the Stockton Ports now. But the story of Casey at the bat supposedly took place in Stockton. So that's why they named the franchise the Mudville 9. Anyway, 1280 a.m., 1,000 blistering watts of sports action coming at you for San Jose State fans, which I'm sure littered all throughout the San Joaquin Valley where Stockton and Modesto are located.
Didn't Fitz Hill used to coach there? Okay,
that's right.
That's the connection, because I remember I was in high school going to a worship service at Fellowship Bible Church down there in Little Rock, and he was a guest pastor that day. And I remember him talking about them going up on Tim Tebow in Florida 7-0, and they proceeded to just get destroyed. That story has kind of struck in my brain since then, but that's one of the your connection and then Fitzhill's connection. I don't know many other Arkansas connections, but you brought up a good point on our rundown. There is one semi-famous NFL quarterback that made his heyday there.
A couple of them, actually. Yeah, Steve DeBerg, who I remember quarterbacking Kansas.
Generational gap.
I think was DeBerg the quarterback who was missing a piece of his pinky? I remember. I think he quarterbacked, and I don't want to go back on Pro Football Reference to look at it, but I'm pretty sure DeBerg was missing a piece of his pinky, kind of like Ronnie Lott did too. You went, how the heck do you throw a football with less than 5 full digits? Jeff Garcia played quarterback at San Jose State.
I did know him. Yeah.
49ers, Browns, a couple other franchises. I think he was a guy that injured himself by running his head into a wall one time or something like that, or headbutting one of his teammates. And Joe Nedney, the former kicker, if I remember, he was with the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, so that's right. You mentioned Fitz Hill.
Nice job, you kicker. Nice job.
Hill coached the Spartans 2001 through 2004. Even brought them into Little Rock to open the 2002 season. They played at War Memorial Stadium and beat Arkansas State 33-14. So they do have a win over a program out of Arkansas.
Wow.
Though it's been a few years since that went down.
I did not know that. I don't remember if he mentioned that or not. So there's just not a lot of connections. And I think people are going to be a little more excited. I think there'll be a few more people in the stands on Saturday night. And we'll talk to Clay about this in about 15 minutes or so. You can't really evaluate this team until you get to Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And what did I tell you in the offseason, all offseason long? That I know people are going to take a lot away from the Ole Miss game because it's your first SEC opponent. It's a road game and that. But I think it was Ruskin that was talking about this the other week or so. It's hard to evaluate a team on the road in their first game, especially if it's a conference game.
Well, especially when you're without the quarterback that you're playing the rest of the season with.
Correct.
Major first half.
I think you'll be able to know a lot more about this football team, win or loss. Now, I'm sure, obviously, fans listening right now hope to, like God right now, they're praying, they're putting their hands up that it's a win. But either way, you're going to learn a lot more about this football team Saturday at 11 o'clock next week than you are Saturday night at 6:30.
Stanley from Springfield, Missouri, texts in that he highly doubts A&M has the Hogs on their map this year. He has no doubt Starkel and Boyd will push them to the end, and he thanks the Lord that the Razorbacks have a kicker that could be the difference, and he thinks the Aggies have to go all in this week for Auburn. Boy, are you right about that. There's no doubt. So maybe you're hoping that the Aggies are a little bit beaten up before they take on Arkansas Jerry World next Saturday. I would doubt that they are looking past Arkansas, though, because they've got a bye week after the Razorback game, and then they host Alabama. So, I mean, are you really looking 2 weeks ahead at that point, or are you just excited for a week off after playing a team that you've beaten 7 times in a row?
Phil, Stanley brings up a good point about Limpert because, as we mentioned several times, he's the leading field goal percentage in the history of Arkansas football.
And he also was named SEC Special Teams Player of the Week.
54-yarder this past weekend, and he also had a 50-plus last year against Vanderbilt. So you have him that you feel good about, and obviously you feel better about him at home than on the road or in the neutral site. But that A&M game, you remember, there's been some kicks that have determined the fate of that football game, and so many close games during that series. So a major long kick or a critical end-of-time kick could be the difference in that one. And Sam Lloyd, now he's had, when given the opportunity, now when he's backed up and stuff, his punts haven't been great. But if not for his kicking coverage, this guy would have a really good season so far. He just hasn't gotten a lot of help from his kicking coverage, Phil. He should have a lot more inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10 than he has on his stat sheet. But his kicking coverage hasn't caught the ball, or they haven't figured out where it is in the air. So special teams is going to be a major factor. You hope you get a good showing again this weekend like you got from Connor Limpert. Hopefully that propels into Texas A&M because, as you know, that game is always close. A punt, a kick could be the difference in Jerry World. It seems like it is every other year.
877-377-6963, the Cherokee Casino hotline open for the upcoming segment. It's just a couple of days away. We're going to be at Breeden RV in Van Buren for a live broadcast of halftime from noon to 2. Plus, it's your last selection to save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs, ATVs, UTVs, boats, and motorcycles. We're cooking out. We're having parts and service specials, door prizes, henways, plus a deer hunter special, like the new 21-foot travel trailer that starts at $999.5 and new fifth wheels up to 35% off. Of course, everything new coming with Breeden RV's exclusive free maintenance for life. Come see me and Ty Richardson for a live edition of Halftime Friday at Breeden RV in Van Buren. And start a new adventure today. BreedenRVs.com for more information. We'll come back with your calls, your texts, a little more as well with Clay Henry coming up in 12 minutes. Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Missed a segment or interview? Check out the Halftime Pod at hitthatline.com. This is the Morning Rush.
Pre-game, he was out there with his Justin Bieber T-shirt. He was as smooth as a Justin Bieber song. He was pretty good.
Can you name me a Justin Bieber song?
Baby. Isn't that right?
See, Tommy didn't even know if you had that right. So he was asking you a question. He had no idea what the answer would be if it was right or wrong.
I'm glad you weren't asking the question.
No, you're right. You're right. You got it right.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Unlimited personal group training at the Fort Smith Athletic Club. Personal group training is a great way to create accountability for your fitness while improving mobility, endurance, and overall wellness. Reach your fitness goals faster with personal group training. Only $60 a month. Call Mike Johnson at 479-926-0193. These workouts are high intensity and get results in under an hour. Only $60 a month. Call for class schedules and details. 479-926-0193. Results happen here at the Fort Smith Athletic Club.
Have you been thinking about new windows or vinyl siding for your home? Then think Superior Siding and Windows. Superior Siding and Windows has been offering low-maintenance, energy-efficient products in the River Valley for over 40 years. Superior Siding and Windows also specializes in sunrooms, patio covers for carports, and much more. Call 646-7888 for a free in-home estimate. Superior Siding and Windows, 646-7888. Superior Siding and Windows. Look for us in the Yellow Pages and like us on Facebook.
Mentor's Lumber True Value has a simple way to help rid your home of pesky insects. Right now, get a 1.1-gallon jug of Ortho Home Defense Insect Killer for just $9.99 after a $3 in-state rebate for True Value Rewards members while supplies last. This easy-to-use spray with ergonomic handle and extended reach wand kills existing bugs and prevents new bugs from entering your home, all in a single application. Find this bargain of the month and other great deals at Mentor's Lumber True Value. Certain exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
True Grit Running Company is where perseverance meets passion. Whether you're training for your next marathon or just comfortable shoes to keep up with your kids, we have the gear to help you reach your goals. With our slow motion gait analysis and our extensive product knowledge, we have the right pair of shoes for you. We also carry apparel, nutrition, hydration accessories, injury prevention gear, and recovery products. We offer classes, workshops, and group runs. Lace up, show up, and get your grit on. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
I'm Lisa Hinton, owner of Champ Hinton Enterprises. For nearly 50 years, the Champ Hinton name has stood for one thing: selling quality cars in a different way. Taking the mumbo jumbo out of the process and making customers happy. All these years and tens of thousands of cars later, we're still here, doing business the way Champ Hinton taught us. Selling to generations of families who've become part of our family. Champ Hinton Enterprises, the area's premier used car dealer. Take the Arcoma exit off I-540 or go online at champhinton.com.
Fall has arrived. Back to school, football games, hunting season, and we know that you don't have the time to deal with an auto accident. Let Evans Body Shop help you through the process from beginning to end. Our caring office staff will take care of the insurance details, and our dedicated shop crew will make sure that your vehicle is repaired properly and beautifully, and that you are back on the road in no time. Come meet us today and see why we say we meet the nicest people by accident. Visit with us at 412 Gordon Avenue in Van Buren, just off Fayetteville Road.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Whaley, he gets the call, fighting for the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas! Devwa Whaley goes the final yard as the Hogs march 64 yards in 10 plays to take the lead.
Halftime on a Wednesday, ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Appreciate you tuning in today. Phil Elson, Ty Richardson. It is Turn the Page Day, which means we're focusing on the upcoming game for Arkansas football Saturday, San Jose State. Chris from Greenwood asked about the punt return team. And notice there's something I've seen other people talk about, that it looked to him like nobody is blocking on punt returns. The outside gunner's running straight down the field untouched. Though I'll tell you what, Traylon Burke's still able to get off some pretty decent returns. He's averaging 7.5 yards per return, as long as 15. And he's really good at making that first couple of tacklers miss. maybe with a couple of hands on a couple of pads elsewhere, he might be able to break one off and go a little bit farther than that. Have you noticed that there hasn't been blocking on the punt return team right now?
Bill, I haven't noticed until Chris brought it up during the break, so I'll try and pay more attention to that against San Jose State. And I don't know if it's by design for Barry Lunny Jr., but I can't tell you that I've noticed anything about it.
Also a text out of the 479 asking, how do you think the game would have gone if Arkansas had knocked out the Colorado State quarterback in the third quarter? It's turn the page day, so I guess we're not worried about that too much. I will say, though, Colin Hill, who, by the way, does have a torn ACL for a third time.
Yeah.
And you honestly can't help but, wipe a tear out of your eye when you say that. You got to feel for anybody that's dealing with the same injury 3 times in a row. I just don't think it would have mattered very much. He didn't look very mobile. The second quarterback that came in was more mobile, and I think might have done a little bit better. I don't think it would have mattered very much because I didn't see Colorado State stopping Arkansas when push came to shove in the fourth quarter. Let's see. So Ty did a little look here, and I also noticed an article on Forbes about this idea, not an idea, but a fact, that high school football participation is at an all-time low. Well, I don't know about all-time low, but lowest in the last 20 years or so. Just over 1 million students playing 11-man football in the 2018 season, and that's a difference of about 100,000 student athletes, high school student athletes, over the previous 10 years. So you're looking at a fact, according to the Forbes study, that you could have less than 1 million high school football players for the first time since 1998. Now, I should step in and just say, look, it's not a national nightmare that there are fewer high school football players in the country over the last 20 years. I'm not somebody who believes that the American culture sinks and the country falls into oblivion if kids stop playing football. But, hey, I understand it is the country's most popular sport. And I think, Ty, it's a little too simplistic to place it just on the concussions and the idea of safety, because parents have been holding kids back from playing football for years. I wasn't allowed to play football. My own parents told me that. Not like I wanted to go, but just in case, because I had friends that played football. They said this isn't for you. You're not playing football. And I was fine with that. I was fine playing baseball, fine playing basketball, and doing high school theater. Those were the 3 things I was into. And I think that there are other avenues, even other athletic avenues, that athletes might be looking into at times. And it's not just football. It's not just football that's down. Wrestling is down. Golf is down. Girls basketball has lost more athletes, per capita than football has. So I don't think it's just football. It's a changing of the athletic culture for student athletes in high school. I think the rise of esports is something to do with it, not just the idea that you can sit on your couch and play video games, but you can do that and maybe even go to school based upon that and make a living off of that. There are fewer schools. Fewer rural schools means fewer 11-man teams. You got the 6-man football, 7-man football, 8-man football. That's not counted in all of this. And you also wonder about the idea of less your popularity now, I don't feel is based on being a football player as much as it used to be. I think it's still there, but I don't think that is the end-all, be-all of popularity in high school. Then again, I mean, I'm 30 years removed from high school, so what do I know?
Let's dive into that a little more. What do you think it is? What do you think's bigger deal now? Money, looks, just all the above?
Social media.
Prowess,
honestly, kids' ability to connect with other kids in a different way.
I would say that it's, as removed as 6 years from high school, it's still a pretty big deal. I don't know if it was big a deal back when you were in school, obviously, but I'd say it's a pretty big deal. I think you're right on the esports, though. You're right on that. Like, you hit that on the head. I mean, Tommy's son's big into esports. I still hadn't gotten into it. And I played video games back in the day, but my parents limited me to an hour a day at one point. I still try to get exercise. I probably wasn't outside as much as you were back in the day, but with the rise of video games and a lot of different platforms and stuff, kids are staying inside, less likely to go outside. I mean, you think about when you were a kid, Phil, how many kids were on the city block playing stickball or outdoor basketball. I mean, it was
That's my street where I grew up. That's all it was.
Yeah, and that's simply not the case anymore, which is kind of a bummer. And my generation was kind of some video games, some outdoor. I had a basketball court in my backyard, play on that and play basketball. And I love still playing pickup basketball and doing stuff, but it's just trending towards more technology. And because of that, that's causing less people to want to play football. The safety issue is also, and I know we're coming up to Clay, but the safety issue is also a big deal. My sister's not going to let her boys play football. And, I mean, I can't tell her how to parent. I can't tell her that it was fun, but that's her choice. It's not mine. So I think parents are a lot more worried about their kids nowadays than they used to be in years past as well.
You know, there was a show that predicted the esports thing in a different way. The show on Nickelodeon back in the 80s that I was out of Canada called "You Can't Do That on Television." There was a scene that would happen each show that was inside Blips Arcade, and Blips Arcade was like the place to be. And kids would complain about their thumbs being sore from Pac-Man exercises. They would take Pac-Man lessons. Little did we know that you legitimately needed those things to maybe have a career in Pac-Man or esports, as it is in today's day and age. It's maybe more important to go over to Rhodes Chevrolet if you need a car. They're the name you've been trusting for over 80 years. Rhodes, dependable in car buying and car owning. And when you walk into their showroom, you'll be treated like family. Part of the family-owned dealership and service department serving the River Valley for over 8 decades. Your next dependable vehicle is at Rhodes Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, or RhodesChevy.com. Rhodes Chevrolet, dependable since 1934. Hogs Illustrated publisher Clay Henry coming up next on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
Missed a segment or interview? Check out the Halftime Pod at HitThatLine.com.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Football Edition. This is how you say, game tonight. Bring Bud Light. Fantasy fees are due. That's it for today.
Brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light, crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Miss Anna's on Towson is quickly becoming one of Fort Smith's favorite haunts. We're now serving breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
The weather is hot and the deals are hotter at Hertz Car Sales. Hertz offers a wide selection of high-quality cars, SUVs, or trucks, and amazing customer service where you can buy direct and save on every car. With inventory arriving daily, why not make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard or give them a call at 783-1722. You can also check them out on the web at buyfromhertz.com. Proud to serve Fort Smith and the River Valley. Stop by Hertz Car Sales today. You'll be glad you did.
Make Awake Boat Sales and Service is not only where you can get your next Yamaha or Skeeter boat, they also carry a huge selection of bait and tackle. Find whatever floats your boat at Make Awake Bait and Tackle. They carry tons of top brand lines of rods and reels and everything you need to gear up your tackle box, from Strike King, Kitech, and Zoom to Sunline and War Eagle products. Make finding your next Yamaha or Skeeter boat an easy catch with Make Awake Boat Sales and Service in Van Buren, 4806 Alma Highway in Van Buren, and MakeAwakeBoats.com.
At Chambers Bank, our Arkansas roots grow deep, and you can trust us as your partner for every banking need. From a simple checking account to your first home loan, whatever you need, big or small, we are here for you. With 18 convenient branches throughout the state and a full suite of online banking options, we will always be available when you need us. Family owned in Arkansas since 1930, Chambers is your full-service community bank. Bank with trust at Chambers Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 631520.
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Starkel on first down, straight ahead, Boyd, lots of room, to the 40, to the 30, it's a foot race, and Boyd's going to the house! Raheem Boyd, 59 yards, touchdown Arkansas!
Clay Henry joining us here on Halftime on Wednesday. Clay, how's it going, my man? Good to talk to you.
I'm good. Bill, Ty, how are y'all?
We're doing great. So why is high school football participation down? We saw this report in Forbes. It's like about 100,000 or so fewer football players in the last 10 years. And I think it's too simplistic to put it on concussions and safety. Why do you think there's fewer high school football players now than 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think the football coaches have told the high school athletes they can't take their phones out there on the film and take videos, and they not allowed to do selfies in the huddles. I blame it on cell phone usage.
Cell phone usage, and do you put it on the esports at all, or maybe do you put those two things together?
No, I just blame it on cell phones.
All right. Well,
hey, I'm just joking, Phil. I mean it's probably. I think the concussion and the injuries, and it's from an early age. I don't think you can say this started in high school. I think you have to look and see that it started in Pee Wee ball, and there's just there's more things to do, and whether it could be. I don't know about the video game stuff, but it might be. I mean, it's just too many people are doing stuff that's not outdoors and activity based, and I've never played Fortnite. I don't even know what it is, but it's just like, do you know that gaming is, and it's not a sport. It cannot be called a sport, and I don't care who says it's a sport. They're wrong, but it is now a sanctioned activity by the AAA.
Oh yeah, yeah. There are universities that give scholarships for esports, for gaming.
And they give scholarships for bass fishing too. That's not athletics, it's sport, but there's just so many tugs and pulls that these kids, and it's not, football's not easy, and I get it, and we glorify it, and it's, I dare somebody to go right down on the field and stand right at the edge of the field and then tell me that this is a beautiful, wonderful game, because it is nasty. And that's part of what we like, but there's brutality in it. And there are gladiators, and I get all that. But but if you drive across campus, you better be careful, because you will hit somebody that walks right out in front of you while staring at their phone and not even sure that they don't even know that they've stepped off a curb. They're just walking and texting. And guys, I've seen people with 2 and 3 phones out, and walking. And I wonder what a professor thinks is the kids lay their phones out there. They got them on silent, but they're still using them in class, right?
Yeah, it's true. There's no doubt about that. We used to use our scientific calculators for cheating on tests and stuff like that.
See, they banned that. They won't let us bring in our own calculators anymore. It's y'all's fault, Phil.
You've got one inside your phone. And it's funny too, because there are coaches that will complain about the prevalence of social media and of phones all here and there. But the college coaches are feeding the addiction too. They're on Twitter and Facebook just as much as anybody else, because they know the kids that they're recruiting are on there, the fans that they're marketing to are on there. It's like a vicious cycle, and there's nothing that they can ever do about it.
Well, did we answer the question?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think there's just a number of factors into it. Well, let me ask you the question we started the show with today. And it was today. I'm calling it turn the page day. So we're forgetting about Colorado State, looking at San Jose State. Arkansas should crush San Jose State. This is, I think, potentially the worst football program that Arkansas has faced in a long, long time. I mean, they get run over on the ground. They have trouble keeping up point-wise. This, to me, I know a win is a win, but this is the line is 21. Arkansas's got it covered. They've got to crush San Jose State. What do you think?
They should. I mean, it's there's such things as backdoor covers, and they could have a lead and put some young guys out there, and something could happen that would give a little bit of a erase some of the cushion down towards the end. But if it goes according to form, then yeah, I think that's what you say. But by the same token, this is a team that's won 2 games last year and won 2 games this year, and so it's not like they know how to handle this situation because they haven't been in it, where they're physically dominant, both speed, size, strength, in those areas. But yeah, I think you pegged it right, and weird things happen in these type games, especially when you throw weather in, and there's a good chance of some rain showers Saturday. So, football's bounced funny ways, but to answer your question, yes, Arkansas is the superior team, and they should win comfortably. And it's a good indication of growth in the program if they can do what they're supposed to do, Phil.
Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, with us on the Cherokee Casino Hotline. Clay, can we really evaluate this football team before they play Texas A&M?
Can we evaluate them?
Yeah, because, yes, you'll be 4 games in at that point, but I guess the data will be there based on 2 games, but I feel like a neutral side.
Here's what I'm watching week to week as far as growth, and it's the cleanness. Do they look well coached? And I thought they did last week, and they're still struggling as far as defensive end. They're playing too much youth, and Mateo Soli's playing with a big old soft cast, big balloon-like thing on his one hand, so he can't get off blocks. But you see the potential there. But they still have some weaknesses that good teams should expose as far as being able to support on the containment on the edges. So that I want to see growth there. Offensive line definitely showed growth. I think that was now whether they can maintain physicality and low pad level against an SEC team, I'm not sure we'll know that. But that's going to be how you measure this season as it goes forward. First of all, can you keep those same 5 guys together on the offensive line, which you couldn't last year? Do they stay healthy? And do they continue to add in more freshmen, guys like Hudson Henry and maybe another offensive lineman gets some snaps that we haven't seen, like a Brady Latham, because you can play them 4 games without losing the red shirt. So some of these guys, do they sprinkle them in? Eric Gregory, Colin Clay at defensive end, are they able to get some snaps and show some growth and be further ahead next year because of it? That's what you're monitoring. And then at linebacker, what can they do without? And I don't think Hayden Henry's going to play this week. He's hurt. So if you take Bumper Pool and Hayden Henry out this week, Andrew Parker and Devon McClure and Grant Morgan, how do they hold up? And can you count on them in the Texas A&M game? And that's where the growth, comes from, is are you able to sustain injuries? Because last year, really in the last couple of years, if you lost somebody on defense, there was a huge drop-off. And, it was giving up chunks every time and rarely forcing a punt. So there's where the growth is like, what's the depth, and do they start to build a little bit? In the injury list will tell you, where you're at. If you're staying healthy this week, and you got the same guys the next week against Texas A&M, well, I think you might have a chance to, to stay in that game and compete with A&M a little bit.
Clay, last question before we let you go. Are you a better dancer than Chad Morris?
I am not a dancer at all. And, there is no debate on that. We're on a dinner cruise in Cabo, and my wife knows that I'm not. I mean, it's a great situation for dancing. There's nobody there but maybe a few family members. And my sister-in-law wanted to dance, thought she was going to get me on the floor to dance. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen. And Jean Ann looked at her and was like, you are wasting your breath. And said, you can. And we just went by a big rock with there's some seals there. She says, you got a better chance of getting that seal on this boat to dance than you do Clay. And so there would have to be something other than beating Colorado State to get me to dance. And I don't know what it is. I'll let you guys figure that out over the next few weeks of doing radio with me. But nobody's thought of it yet.
I'm thinking he needs to be at SEC Media Days for some karaoke with John Neighbors and his friends, which involves dancing at about 1:30 in the morning.
No, that's when I'm getting up, not going to bed.
That's right.
I get up early to go fishing. I don't stay up. That's about 4 or 5 hours past my bedtime. And y'all can laugh, but it's the truth.
No, it's the truth. Got to get up before the fish. I know that. And I know we got to let you go, Clay, because you got something coming up here. Thanks, as always. Always fun talking with you. And
enjoyed it. No dancing, guys.
No, not on radio. It's pretty impossible to do that. All right, that's Clay Henry joining us each Wednesday. Brought to you today by The Fence Man. If you own a business that needs more security or may just need more curb appeal, a new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. The Fence Man, specializing in custom installations, been doing it for over 40 years. Call them about gates or controlled access card readers, and The Fence Man will be there for a quick, no-obligations quote. Call Henry at The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man is a division of Quantum Property Services. Closing out the first hour of halftime next on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Missed a segment or interview? Check out the Halftime Pod at hitthatline.com.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
Frank Rowe Furniture knows you are tired of all the back-to-school sales. So this September, we are going to do something different. Come into Frank Rowe Furniture and spin the wheel and win a free swivel recliner or get anywhere from 5 to 50% off at Frank Rowe Furniture. We also are now offering 0 down and up to 60 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Spin the wheel to win only at Frank Rowe Furniture. You always win at Frank Rowe Furniture, 105 4th Street in Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance provided by Road America is now included with your auto policy. We'll take care of you. Thank you. While you take care of what's most important. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Ask shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half price. And all beers on tap are half price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Play fake, gonna throw a fade, left side, knocks at the goal line, complete, touchdown Arkansas! Trey Knox, 24 yards, and just like that, the Hogs are in the end zone.
Well, I mentioned it a couple of the segments ago that Colin Hill, the quarterback for Colorado State, or I guess former quarterback for Colorado State, is undergoing another knee surgery. There was got to wait a little bit of time for the swelling in the knee to go down. Took the hit from Joe Fouché to that left knee. That was the knee that was braced up. A third ACL injury. And that's tough to stomach no matter who it is you're playing for. You hear about a kid getting the same injury. It's a catastrophic injury, really. Hopefully he'll be able to walk properly for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it's something that I hope I never have to endure again. Just going through it once, I can't imagine. I got a buddy that's down there in Louisiana that's gone through it 3 or 4 times. It's not fun. Arthritis is going to come earlier to him than it does most people feeling his knees.
Well, it's also the end of a college football career right there. All right, we'll come back. We've got Change My Mind coming up after the break. Stay with us for hour number 2 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Is going on right now at Breeden RV in Van Buren. This is your last chance to save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs, ATVs, UTVs, boats, and motorcycles. We're having cookouts, parts and service specials, door prizes, henways, plus deer hunter specials like a new 21-foot travel trailer starting at $99.95 and new fifth wheels up to 35% off. Everything new comes with Breeden RV's exclusive free maintenance for life. So stop by Breeden RV in Van Buren and start your new adventure today.
Cookouts and door prizes on the 20th and 21st. See dealer for details.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Drop off the bumper. Kids run downpour to the bank, go to work, pick up squirrel. Kids then go home. With Michelin tires, you'll be ready for the unexpected. And for a limited time, get up to $100 via reward card after submission with purchase of 4 new 18-inch or larger Michelin tires, or $50 via reward card after submission with purchase of 4 new Michelin tires 17 inches and smaller.
Get where you need to be with Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith.
See MichelinMan.com/promo for complete details. Offer expires 9/19/19. Void where prohibited.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half price. And all beers on tap are half price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mainly clear sky as we head through the overnight. We'll drop down in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Lots of sunshine, our high in the low to mid 90s on Wednesday. Thursday, a sunny start with a slight chance of showers or storms, our high 90 to 95 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on at OGE.com.
Proceed. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bush and Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Ty Richardson.
Guys do a good job, and I listen to you guys.
2 more quarters, and after that, most of you will never play this game again.
D-Mac! Hold on, Matt Ryan! D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown!
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
wide open again.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Officially over the hump into the second hour on a Wednesday. It is hump day. It is turned page day. Focusing now on Arkansas versus San Jose State. And apparently you heard Clay Henry mention it, and Clay must have been listening into Chad Morris's teleconference, the SEC coaches teleconference going underway today. And looks like you're not going to have Hayden Henry or Bumper Pool this next week. Bumper Pool did work out yesterday, still listed as questionable, same with Hayden Henry. You know that hit that Henry laid on Marvin Kinsey, the Colorado State running back that knocked the ball loose and was scooped up and then scored by Ladarius Bishop. That also was the hit that banged Henry up a little bit. So that's one thing that stands out about Hayden Henry, though, I tell you, he can deliver a good-looking hit.
Yeah, he delivered the blow, and unfortunately it came with the price, and they were able to get that fumble. Ladarius Bishop took it back to the house, but hopefully he'll be okay, and that's a bummer for the linebacking core, and we've talked about multiple guys. We were talking about Isaiah Simmons yesterday, the Clemson stud who's going to be a projected first-rounder. We talked about Lakia Henry before Ole Miss, the fact that he ultimately chose to go to Ole Miss, as a lot of people thought he was going to Arkansas. I mean, these linebacker misses and the fact that you don't have any depth, it's starting to showcase itself. It's not going to be a huge deal on Saturday night against San Jose State, but they're sure as heck going to need it when they face off against Kellen Mond and the Texas A&M Aggies down in Jerry World next week, Phil.
I'll tell you one thing I certainly agree with you, is that you really cannot evaluate how Arkansas will look, until you play against Texas A&M. One thing to beat Colorado State, be another thing to beat a worse team from the same conference in San Jose State. But you definitely cannot change my mind that you can't really start to truly evaluate Arkansas's chances for the rest of the season until the Jerry World game next Saturday. So that's a good way to kick off Wednesday's Change My Mind.
I changed my mind.
Hi, Joey.
Hey, how you doing?
He won't sell anybody out to buy his future.
How can you be so obtuse? What did you call me? Obtuse? Is it deliberate?
Son, you're forgetting yourself.
Change my mind.
So there's the passing of the torch for the New York Giants, and it's not just for the Giants. It's that 2004 quarterback class of Roethlisberger, Manning, and Rivers. Rivers the only one who's standing now. And you heard me, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I think Ben Roethlisberger's career is over with this elbow injury, and it certainly doesn't look like Eli Manning will be seeing the field anytime soon. And it's, I feel like this argument, this debate has been going on for a long time now, ever since Manning won his second Super Bowl, and you start to realize there really aren't a lot of, if any, two-time Super Bowl winning quarterbacks that aren't in the Hall of Fame. And I got to tell you what, I think Eli Manning is one of them. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. This is somebody who has been a stat compiler over the course of a very long career.
A sense of reason coming out of my co-host mouth. I have people all the time tell me, Eli is a clear, no-nonsense Hall of Famer.
Well, look, I think if his career ended at the age of 32, perhaps that would have been the case. You had the 2 Super Bowls. You had the 2 Super Bowl MVPs. You had some great seasons there, but I mean, there's a difference between being a stat compiler because you are healthy and because you're just on the field and being effective while you're on the field and compiling a lot of those stats, because he's been compiling way too many interceptions and way too many losses from a position that doesn't want to turn the ball over, and you are the one out of all of the players on the field that gets the record attached to your name. So Eli Manning, and this is funny too, because you're talking about a position where, when you look at Joe Namath's career statistics, Joe Namath didn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
Joe Namath threw more interceptions by about 40 more interceptions than touchdowns over his career. He led the NFL in interceptions 4 times. He led the NFL in touchdown throws once. He's famous. He's infamous. He made the famous guarantee. And I think he was a great quarterback, but Namath himself has said that he probably cost the Jets more games than he won for them. I think Eli Manning's probably the same case. The thing about Eli Manning that's so amazing is that he never missed a game because of injury. I can't think of one quarterback other than maybe Brett Favre who did that. And Favre is a surefire first ballot Hall of Fame, one of the greatest of all time.
Broken fingers and stuff
Eli Manning is not. Eli Manning held his team back over the last few years. This is somebody that is going to be looked at in the future as having a good, sometimes great, but overall not great NFL career. Now, here's another reason why Namath was a Hall of Famer, because he played in New York. There's a New York factor when it comes to Hall of Fame voting and how you are viewed across the pantheon of sports. There are a lot of Yankees who are Hall of Famers that really weren't Hall of Famers. They just played in New York and played on great teams. Namath, I think, is one of those, sort of one of those players. And I think if Manning does make it to the Hall of Fame, it'll be because of the 2 Super Bowl wins over the Patriots, the 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and you can't discount those things. That's part of what goes into Hall of Fame voting. But the guy finished 500 in his career, 116 wins, 116 losses. He threw a ton of interceptions. In this day and age, it should be at the very least a 2-to-1 ratio. He threw 241 interceptions, 362 touchdowns. Led the NFL in touchdowns, never led the NFL in interceptions 3 times. 4-time Pro Bowl, never an All-Pro. Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. Change my mind.
I can't. I don't think he is either. Look at this. So I was going through some stuff. Do you ever listen or follow Sports Talk Barry on Twitter?
No.
Okay.
Who is this?
He's a really funny. I can't say it's Barry.
He's got the second name that I know we've
addressed. So
has something that would almost sound like the mascot for South Carolina, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
You know where I'm trending. So Barry Blank talks about Eli Manning a lot because he hates him. He says future Hall of Fame quarterback Eli Manning currently has a career adjusted net yards per attempt of 5.91, and that's below Tyrod, Brian Hoyer, and Derek Carr. There's issues. Rex Grossman had a better year than him in 2006 than Eli had in 2007. You look at the drives that Eli led, he really didn't do anything. You look at the Super Bowls he was in. Yes, everyone remembers the David Tyree and Mario Manningham catch and throw, but Eli wasn't a major factor in those football games. He just had the luxury on playing really good football teams that had good defenses and that caught fire at the right time. So I completely agree, and I think it's a travesty to football in general that his much talented older brother, Peyton Manning, has less Super Bowls than he does. That is a crying shame to the game of football that people even have the audacity to bring up the fact that Eli has more trophies than he does, when if Peyton Manning was on those teams that Eli was on, they would have won the Super Bowls as well, or if not more. Peyton just got unlucky in the fact that he had to go against Brady, which seemed like every single year in the AFC Championship game. So I completely agree with you, Phil. I'm not going to change your mind. Eli Manning has no business being mentioned in the Hall of Fame. Getting a text right now from Josefa. He said, the only reason I would say Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, and it just went away from my screen, so I'll come back to that. But no, he's just not a Hall of Famer at all. I can't find anything worthwhile outside of the 2 Super Bowl rings that says he is. Josefa says the only reason I think that Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer is because the 2 Super Bowl wins against the Patriots and the All-Pro players that have been asked to say he should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he did have 2 Super Bowl MVPs, but it's one of those things like, Robert Horry, this is a good comparison for you, Phil. You know how Robert Horry has 7 NBA Finals wins? 7.
Right.
Lakers, Spurs, Rockets. Like, dude just happened to be on some really good teams. And I'm not trying to diminish what he did because he's called Big Shot Bob for the reason. He hit some really good shots. But no one even has him remotely in the GOAT conversation when you're talking about Kareem. You're talking about Bird. You're talking about Jordan. You're talking about Kobe. You're talking about LeBron. He doesn't even come up in these conversations unless it's just a laughing matter when it's, Robert Horry has 7 championships. Well, okay, some guys just happen to have the luxury on being on good football teams. I think Eli's in this case here, Phil.
See Hall of Famers that are playing now or in recent memory. I mean, Tom Brady, of course, top of the list. I think Roethlisberger will end up being a Hall of Famer. I think he had a much better career than Manning did. Breeze, Hall of Famer, absolutely. And look, Eli Manning does not belong in the same building, as Johnny Unitas or even Kurt Warner or John Elway or Brett Favre or Terry Bradshaw. I mean, all the other quarterbacks I just mentioned, I think they stand the test of time. Eli Manning does not, except for having Eli Manning face. He had a better Manning face than Peyton Manning did. That was the all-time Manning face.
He did, and I got a text, and I have to correct myself. I don't know why this slipped my mind. He got a championship, another Super Bowl with the Broncos. A text from 717. That's a brain fart for me. For whatever reason, I just locked him into his Indianapolis Colts days where he had one, lost to the Saints and the others. But yes, he did have that, but he was almost his brother-esque, where if you remember that Super Bowl when they faced off against the Carolina Panthers, he was not himself. He did not have a great football game, and it hurt his value, I think. I'm speaking towards Peyton. It hurt his value in terms of what people viewed him as, and it was good he got out when he did. So apologizes to the listeners. I don't know why I thought he just had one. He has to, just like his brother, but it's still a travesty that they're tied, Phil, that they're tied in general. Like they should not. Eli Manning should not have the same number of Super Bowls as his brother Peyton Manning, like at all, period.
Does happen to be a fact, though, whether you like it or not.
That's
but
true.
One will have his bust in Canton, the other will not.
So, changed my mind, and you know about this because on the rundown I talked to you about it a little this morning. I think this is going to be a fun segment. I think you're going to come out with me with some stuff, and it's going to be interesting. Mike Gundy, we often refer to him on this show. His hair has been dubbed the Arkansas Waterfall, and he was on with Barry Melrose on SportsCenter, who also has great hair on ESPN a few years back.
He's been known for it for years.
Oh, yeah. So
great hockey hair.
Here was the conversation that Barry and Mike Gundy had about his mullet.
How has your family embraced the Arkansas waterfall?
Well, my wife kind of likes it. My boys, I have a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old at home, and they were a little skeptical early about maybe embarrassing them in front of their friends. I have a 20-year-old in college, and he thinks it's pretty cool. So I guess it's an even kill at the house.
Now, people don't realize they have hair like that. It just doesn't come naturally. First off, you got to be blessed with great genes, so your mom and dad have a lot to do with that, but also product.
Right.
Now, I just found out you're an Oklahoma guy, sort of a country boy. Your product, did you have something made up of your own, maybe a little bear grease, maybe a little honeycomb, something like that? So how do you get that hair so sharp every weekend?
Well, it's a little bit of butch wax, and you're right. You've got to have good genes, you got to have great hair, and you've got to make sure you have the right product. And as you know, there's a lot of pressure when you have hair like this. You got to make sure it looks right.
So Mike Gundy has the best hair in college football, and I've never once in my life thought about getting a mullet. But our friend Steven, friend of the program that listens to the show on a pretty regular basis, offered that he would cut my hair the other day. Cool thing about Steven, he often does designs inside it's like the side of the hair. I don't know if it's called a fade. I don't know hair.
Yeah, that's on the side of the fade. Would that be like subconscious hair design?
I guess. And when he came into the Hardee's Thick Burger Challenge remote last year, he had a Hardee's star mapped out on his side.
I remember seeing him. Yeah, that was.
Wasn't that cool? And so.
Yeah, it was different for sure. Maybe I'm just jealous.
Yeah, and I saw a video of this guy with an Arkansas emblem, a picture of the state of Arkansas on the side of his head. I don't remember if he had a mullet or not, but that got me thinking. So I told you I get a haircut about every 6 or 7 months. I'm going to get a mullet.
You're really doing it. You are going to do it.
Because
which means you leave part of your hair completely alone.
Correct. Here's the thing. So I'll get a haircut in January or February-ish because I got one in July and I get one every 6 or 7 months or so. So I'll push it back towards then. It's still cold during then. I need a haircut so I can see over my face as it doesn't flop back in my eye and stuff. But it's still cold, so I'll have the adjustment when summer rolls around. I won't have to put sunscreen on my neck because there'll be hair coming up. I know that you and a lot of others have to put sunscreen on your head and stuff to not get burned. I don't have to.
I have had to do that every time I go for a run or stay outside. Yes,
and it's gonna fit with my wardrobe as well too, Phil. Because you know me, I like to wear retro looking things, and I'm pulling back a ¡90s hairdo that was made so popular by John Stamos, Billy Ray Cyrus, Larry Bird, Wayne Gretzky, Randy Johnson, the late Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe. I mean, there's so many people that used to rock this dude. And I like wearing jorts. I don't do it that often, but I like bringing those back. So I might as well just go with the flow and just go. And the other thing, do you know a sports radio host, not only in the state, but in the country that has a mullet? I can't.
I'm sure there's got to be, a handful of them out there.
There probably is
that
one.
Probably also talk SEC football.
Correct. There probably is. Is there someone I'm forgetting? Are you playing me up for this?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm taking a swing and just taking a guess and thinking there's got to be a few of them out there.
Well, I don't know any of them, and if someone could shed me some light on if they know a radio host or whatever that has the mullet style hairdo, that'd be great because I kind of want to talk to him about it. But I think that would also be kind of an individual aspect and kind of stand out a little bit as that's the mullet dude.
Okay,
so it'll be Phil and the mullet dude. We might have to change our rejoins and stuff. Yeah,
it'd be quite a nickname for you. And I don't know how you jibe these things together of getting the hairdo that you want here, but also potentially meeting your future partner for the rest of your life. I don't know if these things mesh.
We've timed it out. Remember, it's 29, 30s when the projection is, and so I got plenty of time to snip the haircut, look professional.
Maybe potentially by then you'll start losing your hair. So I think you bring up the guy that
that just hurts, Phil.
It's just a fact. It's just a fact of life. This is the whole idea of, the 18-year difference. You take a look in this iPad and you see me, and you're not going to look like me. Thank goodness for you, but I think you're going to end up losing some of your hair. So I don't have the options of that you have. But if I did, I think I might go the Barry Melrose route because there's the Arkansas waterfall, which is what Gundy has. But then there's also the Canadian waterfall, which is what Melrose has. And the Canadian waterfall, I mean, keep it up in Canada, it's a little colder than it is here. The Canadian waterfall has so much product in it that it's frozen solid. So that's what you need to go for. You need to like combine the jerry curl with the mullet. If you can put these things together and have the back of your head dripping wet to where it's almost frozen from all of the product inside of it, so that your Larry Bird jersey that you're wearing, at that point is soaked at the top of it, and then go out and see how many people you get a chance to meet.
So I was experimenting freshman year of college with different hairstyles, and I got my middle sister's opinion on that, and it looked like I had picked up some bacon grease and dumped it in my hair because of how greasy it was because of how much product I put in. I was like, is this a good look? She's just like, no, it's not a good look. And this is, let me be openly clear, this is not in any way, shape, or form going to help me popular with the ladies, but
that's not what it's about. It's finding the thing that makes you stand out amongst all the other radio hosts.
Exactly, and it's another thing where I try to be as professional as possible when it comes to a lot of aspects of this job, but at the same time, I'm not going to work on Wall Street. I'm not going into a doctor's office. I'm not doing certain workplace stuff where a mullet haircut would be unacceptable. By the way, Phil, on Facebook, Steven just texted in that he would be happy to do it. So I've already got confirmation that about 6 or 7, not 6 or 7 months, whatever January or February rolls around, I feel like I probably need to chop off the front of it and get the thing going that he'll do it. So, by the way, Andy in Mountain Home says on our chair, I'll let you read it. You go ahead.
Andy just likes that I comment on hairstyles on the radio. It's like, okay, Andy, you and me ought to get together and compare eyebrows. Why don't we talk eyebrows next? Why don't you go with the unibrow look along with your Canadian waterfall? Or how about this? When does the Dennis Rodman 30 for 30 come out?
I thought, did it not come out?
Did it not come out yet? I thought there's supposed to be a 30 for 30 about Rodman's career, essentially, as sort of a tease for this, whole series that they're doing about the Bulls championship teams. But anyway, I mean, you need to go the Dennis Rodman route. I'm talking about multicolored hair like a clown. The whole Roy G. Biv thing, the whole rainbow on your head. You've got the hair to do it now, Ty. You won't have that hair for the rest of your life. There is no better time than right now, right here. Do it, the Rodman. Look, combine them all together, man. The Rodman clown hairdo with the Canadian waterfall. And you're gonna have ladies lined up to meet you outside the studio.
Not the ladies I want to meet. By the way, to your Rodman question, it's on ESPN Plus right now for the next 15 days. Do you have that by chance?
I can find somebody that does.
Okay, there you go. Thumper asked, Ty, will you be able to grow a mean mustache to go along with the Arkansas waterfall?
That's right.
Here's the thing about my facial hair that I'm very envious of Phil. Phil can grow a nice, thick beard. So can my father, but I still have the, what's it called, the blonde crap up top? Peach fuzz?
Peach fuzz.
It's so...
I was told once, I could pass it on to you here, a minor league baseball manager saw that I hadn't shaved in a couple of days. He said, here, Ty, why don't you just go get a cat with a harsh tongue to lick that stuff off your face?
I wish I could grow, because that would just be great to have the mullet along with the mustache. And I guess it grows in enough, up top, but it looks so disgusting. I can't look at myself in the mirror in the morning with that crap on my face up top. Below, I guess I can kind of grow a chin strap a little bit. It doesn't look great, but it's not horrible either. But up top on the mustache, no, it's a no-go.
This is awesome. I mean, it's fashion. It's fashion advice from your halftime hosts. Get the Canadian waterfall with the clown hairdo, the peach fuzz mustache, and unibrow, and you are good to go. Ty Richardson, you're beautiful, just the way you are.
Beautiful. Jeff says that I should keep the hockey lettuce, and I don't know how Melrose does it. You mentioned that he puts so much product in. That would just gross me out. Just all that product in here. I can't. I typically just blow dry my hair in the morning. I don't even put product in it. Now, if I'm going to a wedding or something, I need to get that sucker to stay where it needs to be the rest of the night, or if I'm really trying to look somewhat presentable, then I'll put a little product in, but not most of the time.
I need you to look up because hockey players in the 80s had the most glorious hair in the history of sports. Melrose was a coach, I think, of the Kings in the 80s.
Okay.
And so you got to look up this guy. I remember he played for the Penguins. Ron Duguay. Duguay. It's like he could have tripped on his own hair on the ice. There was just that much of it. And of course, this is at the day and age of the height of hair bands, so the bigger the hair, the better, and everybody in the stands kind of mirrored that. I mean, if you wanted great hair, 1980s hockey arenas, my friend, that was the place to be.
He's got some good locks, dude. I like it. Looks good.
It does look good, doesn't it? Oh, my gosh, this is going to be great when you actually follow through with this stuff. That's changed.
And don't forget the Arkansas on the side, too. The state on the side.
That's right. Oh, this is going to be so good. Can we mix in a few facial tattoos, too, while we're at it? I think that the facial tattoo is the only way to get a real mustache going for you right now, is to actually get it tattooed on your upper lip.
Zing.
All right, we're brought to you by our friends at Breeden RV and Power Sports. Ty and me will be out there on Friday to meet you for a live edition of Halftime from noon to 2. We're going to have cookout going on, parts and service specials, door prizes, Henways, Deer Hunter special going on, the new 21-foot travel trailer starting at $999.5, new fifth wheels up to 35% off, and everything new coming with Breeden RVs, exclusive free maintenance for life. Go to BreedenRVs.com for more info. Got a picture of a beautiful Blackstone tailgater combo, a propane griddle combo that we're giving away on Friday. So come out and see me and Ty Richardson at Breeden RV in Van Buren on Friday. We'll come back with more on Halftime, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Missed a segment or interview? Check out the Halftime Pod at hitthatline.com.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney of Family Dentistry. They take care of it all: crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
The last big RV show of the year is going on right now at Breeden RV in Van Buren. This is your last chance to save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs, ATVs, UTVs, boats, and motorcycles. We're having cookouts, parts and service specials, door prizes, Henways, plus Deer Hunter specials like a new 21-foot travel trailer starting at $99.95 and new fifth wheels up to 35% off. Everything new comes with Breeden RV's exclusive free maintenance for life. So stop by Breeden RV in Van Buren and start your new adventure today.
Cookouts and door prizes on the 20th and 21st. See dealer for details.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or stop by our location at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Every day, vegetables are ripped from the earth, sliced, diced, even something called julienne. But for just $5 a day, you can help. Get 2 Hardee's Original Roast Beef Sandwiches for just $5. Slow-cooked beef, hand-dipped in rich au jus, each prepared without harming a single vegetable. So come to Hardee's, get 2 Original Roast Beef Sandwiches, and save the veggies. Hardee's, because it tastes better. Available for a limited time after regular breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
You've worked hard your whole life anticipating the day you could finally retire. If that day is near, there are 5 things you need to do. Spend wisely, understand your retirement plan distribution options, plan for your required minimum distributions, know your Social Security options, and consider phasing. Call Brad Lewis at United Financial Advisors to discuss these steps in detail at 242-7466 or through our website at ufadvisors.net.
Securities and advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates, member FINRA SIPC. United Financial Advisors is a marketing destination.
This is the Morning Rush.
Where's Hudson Henry? Why isn't he out there? I'm sure he'll be a great player for Arkansas, but they may redshirt him this year.
And that would be okay, but as long as C.J. O'Grady is healthy and these other guys are playing well. I think you're right. He is the next great tight end, and maybe he gives you 3 to 4 seasons, 3 seasons. Will he be Hunter? I don't know. All these Hunters have turned out to be pretty good.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Football's out. Razorbacks have picked it up. We're headed back the other way. Picked up by Cam Curl. He's still got the football. Curl's all the way. He's going to the house. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Back inside halftime on Wednesday on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. Phil Elson with Ty Richardson. We're going to bring on Kevin McPherson in the next segment to get a look at what's going on in Arkansas basketball recruiting, which is quite a lot. Quite a lot going on there under Eric Musselman. Yesterday we debated a little bit about the not a little bit, pretty much the entire second hour about the bill in the California State Assembly that will allow student athletes to profit off of their likeness and image. And we started the conversation with a comment that Mike Leach brought up, in which I kind of discounted what Leach said at that point, because I think sometimes we think everything that comes out of Mike Leach's mouth either is entertaining or contains truth. It's just not the case. He thinks it is, but it isn't the case. He is extremely entertaining. I'd say probably 7 out of every 10 things he says is funny. And so don't you think it would be fun just to be a reporter at one of his press conferences, Ty? Because you can ask like a silly question that if you asked Nick Saban the same question, he would stare a hole through your head. You know, kind of like Homelander in the new show The Boys on Amazon. He has that fire out of his eyes. Mike Leach, you ask him questions about mascots and which one is the fiercest, he's got a pretty good answer for you.
First of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that. I'm going to say the Wildcat's out. The Trojan, does he have a horse or is he on foot? Does he have a bow and arrow or just his sword? The Bruin, definitely formidable. Another bear up there at Cal. The tree, I imagine that tree's going to get chopped down. Unless we're going to go with a bird and somebody might get pecked or something, I don't know. The duck might lose interest and just fly away and get out of there, which may be good advice under the circumstances. The husky, no chance. The beaver, we'll see how long that beaver can hold his breath. The ute, again, we're back to, is he on horseback? Does he have a bow and arrow? Did he trade for a rifle? I mean, because if that ute's got a rifle, there's some definite problems. You'd have to get one of those Harry Potter activists to read up on how you kill a Sun Devil, because there's a lot of outside stuff there. As far as a beast alone, a buffalo's going to be pretty hard to tangle with. I mean, a buffalo's utterly outstanding.
I think he's right.
Him out? The Cougar will find a way. Clear-minded and crafty, a combination of stay out of harm's way and attack when you get your chances or your openings.
Phil, he drowned on for about a minute and a half.
Yeah, he's good at droning on and then sipping tea in the middle of his answer. I like the answer about the buffalo. It's got the thickest hide. It can take a beating and keep on going. It can just trample over somebody. So it got us thinking about which SEC mascot would stand the test of time and where does the Razorback fit in. So I mean, the Crimson Tide's an elephant. I don't see how you get past the elephant, to be quite honest. Stampeding elephants will run over just about anything, and that goes for all 3 tigers in the SEC. The alligator, And then the alligator loses to the crocodile. So right then and there, the gator's done. The wildcats, come on. I mean, the land shark, take the shark out of water and it's got absolutely nothing. The bulldogs, they're cute. The gamecock is a chicken. I know it's a ferocious chicken, but it's still a chicken. And then whatever the voluntarily, are we talking about the volunteers that went from Tennessee to fight in the Battle of the Alamo? Because they were pretty ferocious. Or are we talking about, the cute little dog that they've got for the volunteer mascot? And the Aggie, I mean, are we really going to be, frightened of farmers or frogs, Gig 'em, whatever it is? I think, and the Commodore, put it on a boat, fine. It's going to be, with all of its cannons and torpedoes. Yeah, the Commodore, maybe. I just don't see the Razorback doing really very well against them. Maybe beating a Wildcat. I think the Razorback would beat the land shark if it was on land. It would beat the cute puppy dog and the bulldog and the frog or whatever a Commodore is and a gamecock. But I'm sorry, Ty, the elephant wins.
Elephant's pretty ferocious. I think the gator stands a chance. I don't know how much of a chance, but I think it would stand one. You mentioned the land shark. If it's in water, land shark wins almost every single, if not every single time. I think the tigers, it depends on if it was a pack of tigers versus a pack of elements or if it was one tiger versus one element. The elephant takes one paw or whatever hooves or whatever you want to call an elephant's thingamajig, or just swings the trunk and just smacks whatever animal comes at it. It's a pretty intense battle. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll get to see this battle anytime soon, Phil.
Can I just say, the land shark is just the stupidest thing. It makes no sense whatsoever. The definition of a land shark is a swindler of sailors on shore. So it has absolutely nothing to do with something ferocious with teeth. And it is also from the mid-1970s to late 1970s SNL skits with the land shark at the door that would eat the person when it opened up the door. The land shark is stupid, and the black bear would have been better because the black bear could give the elephant a fight for its life. All right, we're coming back to talk some basketball with our friend Kevin McPherson. First, to remind you, we're brought to you by Rhodes Chevrolet. For over 80 years, Rhodes has been a name you can trust. Rhodes is dependable in the car buying and car owning experience. And the first time you walk into the Rhodes showroom, you'll be treated like family. Part of the family-owned dealership and service department serving the River Valley for over 8 decades. Your next dependable vehicle is at Rhodes Chevrolet. Find them at 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren or RhodesChevy.com. Rhodes has been dependable since 1934. Coming back with Kevin McPherson, AR Hoop Scoop, next on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
Hold on tight.
Missed a segment or interview? Check out the Halftime Pod at HitThatLine.com.
Hello, would you like me to find workout classes near you?
There are no stores that sell glasses within 10 miles of your location.
There's enough artificial in the world. That's why Michelob Ultra is brewed with no artificial colors or flavors. With just 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. 2019 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 grams carbs, 0.6 grams protein, and 0.0 grams fat per 12 ounces.
Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Make-A-Wake Boat Sales and Service is not only where you can get your next Yamaha or Skeeter boat, they also carry a huge selection of bait and tackle. Find whatever floats your boat at Make-A-Wake Bait and Tackle. They carry tons of top brand lines of rods and reels and everything you need to gear up your tackle box, from Strike King, Kitech, and Zoom to Sunline and War Eagle products. Make finding your next Yamaha or Skeeter boat an easy catch with Make-A-Wake Boat Sales and Service in Van Buren, 4806 Alma Highway in Van Buren, and MakeAWakeBoats.com.
Mentor's Lumber True Value has a simple way to help rid your home of pesky insects.
Right now, get a 1.1-gallon jug of Ortho Home Defense Insect Killer for just $9.99 after a $3 in-state rebate for True Value Rewards members while supplies last. This easy-to-use spray with ergonomic handle and extended reach wand kills existing bugs and prevents new bugs from entering your home, all in a single application. Find this bargain of the month and other great deals at Metters Lumber True Value. Certain exclusions apply. See store for details.
Looking to upgrade your fleet or needing professional service to your existing fleet? Carco International of Fort Smith offers the latest trucks and equipment in the industry. With over 70 years in the trucking and equipment business, they have the experience to keep you on the road. Carco International offers professional service after the sale. Carco International Parts Department supplies all makes, parts, and gives expert service. Carco International is the answer. Leave it to the pros to keep you on the road. Carco International, located at 2721 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith.
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Davis, first down, a bunch more. Here's one of those types of scores as he'll take it the distance. Touchdown, Arkansas. 62 yards.
It's been a minute since we talked with our friend Kevin McPherson, covering all things Arkansas basketball and Arkansas basketball recruiting. Follow him on Twitter at ARHoopScoop. Of course, he's part of Pig Trail Nation and KNWA. Kevin, it's football season, but lots going on with Arkansas basketball these days. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. And you're right. It's with Eric Musselman and his regime. It seems like a daily splash on social media or something. Something's popping up on the radar daily.
Well, we saw the thing pop up yesterday that going to get both. It is Moses Moody and is it Kyrie Walker coming to visit the same time? Or was it? I know they're getting two kids visiting the exact same weekend later on in October. Tell us about the visit and who is going to be coming.
Yeah, so they did. They locked in a couple of visitors yesterday. Eric Musselman and Chris Crutchfield went out to Montverde Academy to see Moses Moody. Now, he was already scheduled for an official visit to Arkansas October 18th through the 20th. That's the weekend that in football the Razorbacks will be hosting Auburn. So, but that's the same now weekend that Kalen K.K. Robinson out of Bryant, Arkansas, that's also playing at an independent school in Virginia, Oak Hill Academy. Everybody's heard of Oak Hill. But he'll also visit the same weekend as Moody now, October 18th to the 20th. And these young men grew up in the Little Rock, Central Arkansas, playing basketball together in spring and summer grassroots. So it's interesting. They're both top 100 players. In the case of Moody, ESPN's still got him ranked in the top 30, number 28. Robinson's somewhere hovering around the 70s. But you got two kids from the Little Rock area, basically playing on the East Coast to finish up their senior season in high school, but they'll be visiting on the same weekend. And then Kyrie Walker, whose name you mentioned, he's a top 35, high-level 4-star, 6'5" combo guard out of Hillcrest Prep in Phoenix. And assistant coach Corey Williams was out to visit him yesterday out at Hillcrest Prep. And he's an interesting story, but he's locked in his visit date for October 4th through the 6th. And that's very interesting because there's been a lot of speculation about this young man, whether he was going to reclassify to 2019, he was going to stay in the 2020 class. He's got opportunities that have been reported by Adam Zagoria of the New York Times Sports to sign a professional contract in China, and maybe even have a sponsor for a shoemaker. I'm not sure what all the details are, but that he might even have an apparel contract to go along with a professional contract. So a lot of things on the table for him, but he's enrolled at Hillcrest. The story is that he may not play basketball this year and try to go ahead and graduate early at midterm and then go to a school and play half a season and then look at his pro option. So he's coming in October 4th through 6th. That's the weekend that Arkansas is going to have the red-white game, the annual game, and this year, for the first time in 26 years, it'll be at Barnhill Arena. So a lot of interesting developments yesterday in terms of locking in these official visits. And a guy like Kyrie Walker is fascinating because he's really a national story.
Well, and if Walker does reclassify, does that mean that he, wherever it is he chooses, that he would be available for the upcoming season? Well, I mean, when would you see that he would end up on campus with somebody if he reclassifies?
Right, a midterm. A midterm.
Okay.
He's at Hillcrest Prep now. It's too late, really, to enroll at a school, at a college, and play in the fall semester. So he could graduate. And my understanding is there's a lot of uncertainty if he'll even play another game at Hillcrest.
Yeah,
so he's there. He needs to graduate.
He had mentioned to a media organization a few months ago that I think the words were, "I've played my last game there." So it's almost like he made the announcement.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, but there's been so much back and forth on things that have been said and what actually happens. So as time goes by, it becomes more and more definitive, even if they don't say a lot. And I think it's obvious now that he's not going to be in school anywhere in college for the fall semester. He's not going to be starting a season with anybody in college. And if he's not going to play at Hillcrest Prep, and that seems to be the case, then the next idea for him would be to graduate and if he doesn't go to China and sign some kind of a contract now, or when he graduates high school, if he goes to a college, what does that do for him? Well, he's 19. And he gets through that season of college, then he could sign a pro contract overseas. Maybe it's the NBA G League, but he's also eligible for the NBA draft. So I think by going the college route at midterm, it keeps more options open for him in just a few months, as opposed to jumping now to the pro game where that might create some entanglements for the NBA. Maybe not, but it's just one way to look at it.
Talking with Kevin McPherson at AR Hoopscoop on Twitter on the Cherokee Casino Hotline. Kevin, with Barnhill being the site of the red-white game, I think it's going to be close, if not sold out. That is going to be a raucous, wild atmosphere, and I think it's going to be beneficial for Eric Musselman and his staff bringing in, you mentioned Kyrie Walker, possibly ever recruits that weekend. How much of an impact do you think the atmosphere in Barnhill that day will have on these prospective recruits?
Well, let me tell you, I was at Bud Walton Arena last year in October when they had the red-white game, and they had 3 official visitors that weekend. Matthew Morrell, Moses Moody, and Bryce Thompson. These are 3 high-level guys that, Arkansas is obviously still recruiting Moody and Bryce Thompson. But when you're putting in, maybe a third or maybe a half of Bud Walton Arena, and, even though the fans got into it, and I think Isaiah Joe went off for something crazy that night for the red-white game, even though the fans get into it, it's not the same as having a place filled up. And Barnhill Arena, when you're bringing back some history, and there's going to be a lot of nostalgia, there's going to be some throwback T-shirts and all kinds of stuff, and you can fill a place up, and it's spilling over. It's going to be crazy, and now you've created a true game-like atmosphere with all kinds of excitement. That can't help but recruiting, exponentially, because I think it's a lot better seen. Not saying that games aren't great at Bud Walton, but you got to put it in perspective. Red-white game at Bud Walton is not going to be the same as what it'll be at Barnhill, which is about half the size. Like you said, it's probably going to be spilling over.
So Chad Morris has made it a point to develop the relationship with high school coaches in this state. He was a high school coach for 16 years. That's where he made his mark in Texas, and now he's trying to translate those relationships to the state of Arkansas. Eric Musselman's kind of been on a different path. He's been the pro route. He's come from the top-tier route, if you will. And high school basketball in this state is far more important than high school football. Kevin, based off what you've heard, based on talking with the high school coaches in this state, how is Eric Musselman and his staff progressing with their relationships within the state of high school coaches?
That is actually an excellent question, and they took a big step yesterday. There was the Arkansas Basketball Coaches Association Coaches Clinic. It's held every year this time of year at Hendrix College, and you have all the high school coaches come out, a big number of them. They come out in hordes and fill up the wellness center over there, and several hundred. And Musselman took part in that. Bill Sell from Kansas was there. Joe Foley, who's the head coach for Little Rock Trojans women's team. Mike Neighbors, the Arkansas Razorbacks women's coach, was down. But Eric Musselman did an hour of instruction. He brought 5 of his staffers, not the main assistant coaches, but he brought Anthony Ruda, and he brought Hayes Myers. He brought his son, Michael Musselman, who's director of recruiting. He brought Pat Ackerman, the recruiting coordinator. He brought in Riley Hall, who's part of that staff. So he had 5 staffers yesterday. And talking to all of these high school coaches and showing them plays and different things they do to get ready to work out. And I interviewed him after that, and he talked about the importance of embracing the entire high school system in the state of Arkansas, because they understand not only how good the players are, but that it's important to establish a network and establish those relationships. So, you know, he's been on the job 5 months. I think he's doing a good job. His staff has gotten out and done on-campus visits these last 2 weeks when the live recruiting period started back up on the 9th. And so they go into those gyms and they meet those coaches and talk to them and get to know them. You know, they usually meet first before practice starts. So I think they're doing the work. We certainly see that they're not bashful and shy about getting out there and making sure that they're that they're saturating these opportunities.
You know, part of it's doing the work, Kevin, and then part of it is just maybe the kind of personality that Eric Musselman seems to have. And in these 5 months since he's been the coach, I think it's obvious. He gets it. He gets how to connect to the people he needs to connect to here. And that's not to say anything negative about the previous coaching staff, but for somebody that had no tie to Arkansas basketball or even the state, except for I think his wife Danielle is from the southern portion of the state, he's connected in ways that I think are either really difficult to do or just maybe based upon your personality are easy to do. I mean, he's given rides to students and introducing himself as Eric, not coach. You know, for me, that's something simple, but it means something. It just this coach seems to get Arkansas very well.
Yeah, and I think another thing you've got to understand is he puts so much time in every day to reaching out and getting as much coverage as he can in terms of not only coaching the team but networking with recruits, with other coaches. He puts feelers out to all kinds of people who might have an opinion and some expertise on something. So he doesn't put himself above what other people might be able to contribute to helping him really understand how he can maximize his opportunities. And I can give you several examples, but hiring as many guys as he has with NBA experience, we keep talking about that. But if you look at Corey Williams and Chris Crutchfield is an excellent regional recruiter. He's a guy that did a great job at Oklahoma in the regional recruiting and keeping their best players in that area, the Oklahoma, Texas area, keeping them and getting them to be Sooners and go on and have success. And I think Musselman gets it in so many ways that we haven't really seen yet. I think it's very strategic in the hires that he's made. It's not like he just went out and hired somebody to fill a spot. He actually thought through all of this and got guys that can help him in more ways than one. Earl Boykins, he just brought him on as director of student athlete development, and he talked at length about how, hey, look, this guy was 5'5" and played 13 years in the NBA. He goes, most of that had to do with being a professional and off the court stuff and being on time. He goes, and he said, so there's no fluke that we have him in here because we want him to be able to help our players understand what it takes in life, whether it's basketball or something else, on how you be a professional. And so I really think it's not just marketing. I mean, there's real strategy above the initial splash. I think these things can have long-term positive effects.
All right, Kevin, it's a great talk. I appreciate talking about something that's other than football for a brief moment, and we look forward to having you on again sometime soon.
Guys, I appreciate it. Let me just say this. I'm not trying to spoil anybody's day, but wouldn't Trey Knox and Treylon Burks look good in a basketball uniform? I think those guys could finish above the rim and get up and down with the best.
And have the hands to handle any pass that comes their way. That's what it looks like.
No doubt.
Well said. Well said. All right, Kevin, have a great day.
Good to be with you guys. Enjoyed it.
Kevin McPherson, Mr. A.R. Hoop Scoop here on Halftime. We'll close up shop with a cherry on the top next on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Missed a segment or interview? Check out the Halftime Pod at hitthatline.com.
Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold? 3 times. It's that cold. So make sure the mountain on your can of Coors Light is blue, because that means it's ready to enjoy. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Sales tax paid. It's here, it's now, it's at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren. Hi, this is David Neal, and my pre-owned inventory is busting at the seams. State sales tax paid on all pre-owned inventory. Save your hard-earned money and let me pay your state sales tax. Sales tax on Chevy, sales tax on Fords, sales tax on Jeep, sales tax on Kia, sales tax on Subaru. Did I mention I was paying the sales tax on all pre-owned inventory? Hurry, act now only at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2-way off of I-540. Find new roads.
Offer not valid on previous negotiated deals.
Dee's Family Restaurant of Alma at 39 Column Lane across from the water park is now open on Sundays. Breakfast is served all day, and our hot buffet is served from 11 to 8, 7 days a week. Our breakfast buffet is now served from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. every day. All-you-can-eat steak Thursday night, cooked order prime rib Friday night, and a seafood buffet on Saturday night. We have a party room that'll seat 50 and plenty of parking. Call ahead, 632-1014.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
That's the secret phone. The what? Remember? I told you my dad's a shelter agent. When that phone rings, he rushes out to save the day. Whether someone's home or car gets damaged, my dad is always there to help. He has the coolest job ever.
Well, my dad's an astronaut.
That's cool too, I guess.
Find your insurance superhero at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you. Tired of all the broken promises and broken equipment at your current gym? The Fort Smith Athletic Club is the nicest and most well-equipped fitness and tennis club in the area with a state-of-the-art fitness center, Pilates, fitness classes, personal and group training, and the best tennis facilities in the region. 7 outdoor courts, 5 indoor courts, plus pickleball and racquetball courts. And free child care is included. The Fort Smith Athletic Club. Call 452-4031 for membership information.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Back to pass, Grovey. Quarterback draw. He's got a hole. He may go. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Still a ways off from Arkansas playing Western Kentucky on November the 9th when Ty Storey makes his return to Fayetteville and to Reynolds Razorback Stadium. But he might be playing this upcoming weekend against the UAB Blazers. That's because the guy who beat him out for the job at Western Kentucky, Stephen Duncan, is out with what the coach is saying is a crack in his foot. And need to put a pin in that foot, so Stephen Duncan out for several weeks. So it's another quarterback competition for Ty Storey, who's been embroiled in a quarterback competition now for more than a year. Redshirt sophomore Davis Shanley, redshirt freshman Kavarius Thomas will battle Ty Storey for the job. We're rooting for Ty Storey to get that job.
Hilltoppers don't travel to Fayetteville until November the 9th, so maybe Duncan rehabs and gets back in time. But I'd rather, there's a lot more storylines if Ty Storey's the quarterback coming to Donald W. than there's Stephen Duncan. I'll tell you that, Phil.
Can I put out a call for photos on Twitter for Ty of Arkansas waterfalls, Canadian waterfalls, and everything that's cut into the side of your hair? Please.
Do it.
Bring it. Bring it for Ty at Ty Sports Radio. Now for Ty, I'm Phil. Get up, get out. Get a Canadian waterfall.